coming in and checking out this video. Just gonna freestyle this because sometimes I fumble my words and I want to be clear. And this is actually been a long time since I've spoken on the mic, like direct. I do it almost every other night with another YouTube channel, but I don't know why I keep getting blocked. But I'm gonna freestyle this thing because I've been working on it for a couple weeks. I've been learning a lot about gematria and astrology, numerology, a little bit about the astronomy, and so on and so on, and how you can implement these areas of study. You don't have to go in like delve too deep. It depends on your learning style or how much you want to study. But I did, and it was resulted from all this learning has been resulting from things that I've been watching and studying myself, trying to make myself better and grow. And this is the result. This is the result of a good community that I'm in. A shout out to them. We know who they are. And it's pretty dope. Like sharing a lot of things about anything from nature, from health to gematria to numerology to astrology, and going so on and so forth. I don't want to bore you. I want to start this thing pretty soon, but just to let you know a little bit how I came about with this. And it was first Jordan from Waters Above Crypto. Started watching his videos based off crypto and gematria, and I learned a little bit about gematria maybe like a year or two ago, but I didn't take it too serious. I always wanted to find out about a video about maybe something about gematria related to crypto, and that's how I got led to his channel. And then I got led into Logan's with Decode Your Reality, so check them out, Waters Above Crypto and Decode Your Reality. And then it was after that was Jason from Archaics, and it's just been a non-stop quest, or not, I don't even call it a quest, or something that I guess is my mind when I want to like learn something or do something. Like I go full into it, and luckily I have the time for it. So this is what it is. So thank you once again for coming in, and we're gonna start this program here because you guys been waiting. So Decode 144 and how I came about with this. I said I wanted to like, I was like enamored by Logan from Decode Your Reality and the way he set up his videos with the graphics and stuff. And I was like, this is so cool. Like I can pick up on these things and on these subjects and how they could interconnect and how it's connected with gematria to, like, you know, properties of the elements and things like that. And the way he just set it up was just like pretty sick, because and I just kept like not pushing myself, but like going, like attracting myself to like those, the way he did it, because it was simple and it was like the graphics, the art was there. And then I was like, there's something here, maybe I could just start something. And I started with some slides, and then it went on and on for weeks, like, and then connections, and after connections, I said I want to start a YouTube channel. And it was also due to the wolves too, that someone had mentioned share your notes, share your notes, share your ideas. And I said, but they're like lengthy, so I don't know how I was gonna put it together or anything. But I thank that person for that. I can't remember their name. I thank you for the encouragement. I thank people in there, because they kind of put me on to a couple things that gave me confirmation to what was already starting with this, which is Decode 144. I was like, okay, maybe somebody has this name on YouTube or some shit. You know how it is. So I said, let me check it out. And I Googled it, and I found that it belonged to a song. It belonged to something else entirely different, but I don't want to get there yet. I want to start off with the 144 and what I found out. Maybe a lot of people know about this. I didn't find out till now. So in the circle of 360 degrees, the division into 10 pieces like slices called the decagon shows that the 10 corner angles are all 144 degrees each. So it shows you the importance here. 10 triangles are called the golden triangles, and this is with geometry. I'm sorry, I almost said gematria, are based on the phi ratio, meaning that this 144 degree angle is critical to establishing structure based on the divine proportion of living mass of nature. The cross section of DNA has been shown under the microscope to be a decagon. And I'll show a symbol of a decagon here, but in a few actually. But I just want to keep going what I picked up and some notes here. And the harmonic 144, the 14,400 degrees. And it's this point here, I guess. Looks like that pyramid that we all are similar with. I would say Giza. And this number here, 14.4, is Mercury's specific gravity. So I don't want to like reading and stuff like that. Like I've been like that, but not about specific things. But when it comes to like work or studying or when I want to learn something, I go all in. So anyway, so we tied that. The element Mercury is 14.4, ratio density of a liquid to the density of water at 4 degrees Celsius. Okay. So that's a little background. So then we're going back to the Decode 144 and the name of this presentation. And we have to mention what I found. Decode 144 was a song of this album by Disassembled, Portals of Decimation. Okay, so I went into this website, clicked play. It was like one of those websites where it previews the band and the song and the name of the album and whatnot. So from right here, Decode 144, from Portals to Decimation by Disassembled. And I was like, okay, so this is the name of the song off this album, and this is the name of the band. And I looked at this art, and I was like intrigued right there, because it looks like a pyramid. And I was like, okay, maybe this is a connection here. So then I started with like, just decoding the word decimation, the killing and destruction of large proportion, of a group or species. Our growing hunger for fish has resulted in the decimation of fish stocks, a drastic reduction in the strength or effectiveness of something. We need to halt the decimation of this country, whatever. The killing of 1 in every 10 of a group of people of punishment for the whole group, originally with reference to a multinous Roman legion. Okay, so that's got some history there on decimation and portal. And I said the first thing I thought portal because extraterrestrials and things like that and movies and blah, blah, blah. But I looked at the real definition, the whole architectural composition of surrounding and including the doorways. So it's right here, the doorways and porches of a church. So it says specifically a church. So I was like, okay. A door, gate, or entrance, especially one of imposing appearance as to a palace also, okay? So we continue. So just the image here that I found like on Wikipedia, and that's considered a portal. So now you take the two people, they all, they enter the portal when they go to church. I thought of like maybe the energy is like an energy center they're supposed to feel once they go to church, and we're not going to get religious or anything like that, claim anything right now or debate anything, but that's really what it is. And like many people have probably even never been to church or whatnot. I'm not saying you should or anything, or you should not. That's not the whole point here, but it's a church portal. So it's good to study what you're doing, at least if you are Christian or whatever, what's going on. And then I came into this, the decagon. I should have showed that earlier, but decagon, the speed of light, or C, is 144,000 minutes of arc per grid second. So that's like, what? This is speed of light right here. So as Mercury is tied to also the speed of light, the light speed. DNA has been shown under the microscope. We said that already. Essentially, we are linking DNA to light via the harmonics of the circle when divided by 10, the sum of all the 10 angles in the decagon. 144 times 10, 1,440 degrees. There you go, the 144 again, another link to 144. And this I found later on, because there was a bunch of stuff that I just had to like organize it and things like that. So this I found later on from Jane 108. I don't know if he's a mathematician, things like that, but he teaches about the sacred geometry. And I'll put a link down in the description about that. Light equals 144 based off the gematria. Right there. Light equals 144. So then we make that connection. Light, speed, light. And then light equals 144. Then we go back to the church, the portal, and the first thing that I visualized was like the portal was like these symbols here above their heads. That was like so random. And then I made, so maybe that decagon is this degree, and this is the portion right here that goes over our head. The C word, the light speed, the church, the crown. And we always see this crown or halo, whatever you want to call it, with Jesus. And then we go back to this beautiful pyramids, these like shapes and things like that. I don't, like I said, I'm not claiming I'm a mathematician or anything like that, that I know like too many deep things about math or geometry, but it's intriguing right now and I would love to learn more. So just to continue, this is it right here. This is the page, I mean the album cover from Disassembled, a pyramid. And then I said, wait a minute, what's going on? These guys are trying to say something here. And it was, I'll explain later about the song and the rhythm and the genre and whatever, whatnot. It's not important right now. But then I was like literally watching a movie, like randomly. I was like, let me just pop something in while I eat just to look at visuals, not even trying to turn it up or nothing. And this is the movie that I picked up. I said, wait a minute. And this is from Man of Steel. And you see the pyramid, you see the portal. It's all right there. That connection is right there. So I'm getting it now. The portals to decimation. You could look at it as a negative thing, the decimation of people and things or whatever, whatnot. So I said, okay. Didn't think of anything of it. Just kept, reading. This thing took me weeks to do all these things to put together and whatever, whatnot. So then I looked up the dates. I looked up the release date of this song, of this album, 4/20/2018, and just regular numerology. I don't even claim to like know a lot about this either. These are just notes that I took. Maybe people could just like expound upon on these things. So the 42, the 29, the 6, the 11. So I said, okay, 6 and 11 is 66. Maybe we'll get that. You could also say 6 and 11 is 18. That's a 9. That's really fair. So, but I was like, maybe there's something else. I said 42, 29. Probably need to sleep already. But I want to continue. I don't want to bore you. I want you to keep going with this thing. So let me explain. 4/20/2018. You have all the mathematics right there. 6 times 11, it becomes 611. Or you could always like, that 6 could be, inverted or placed upside down. You get the 9. So they always say it's like, I know the 6 could be also a 9. And you also get that 69 from, and then the yin and yang and all these things. So they kind of correlate together. The two fishes too. But the 9/11, and I was like, oh boy. I said decimation, 9/11. That's the first thing that I freaking came to my head. And it's just been incessant after that. So I just needed to finish this video. There's a way more slides or whatever, whoever wants to stay with me here. But here we go. Okay, so these are just notes. Like I said, the 144, the 288 divided by 2 is 144, plus the 144, 3 times 96 is 288. So this is where I got it. Basically, the 2 is the 4. So you get the 44 times 9 I put in there is the 396. You take 3 times 96, the 288 divided by 2 is 144. And they got their number. And you could say, oh, that whatever, this was made afterwards. I'm not trying to make any predictions here. I'm not trying to say anything. I'm just observing. And I'll ask you to do the same. So we got the 9/11, and I broke down that date, 41. It matches maybe to that 1441, so kind of like the same thing. 9/11/21, and then I kept breaking it down. 11/11 times 1, 11/11. It's a strong number, and it has to deal with my birthday too. So I said, okay, I'll just keep that as a note. And then I went to the date numerology. The 4/20/2018 equals the 44. And then the days left in the year, 111. Day of the year, April 20, 110. And I said, wow, Tower 1, 111. Tower 2, 110. These are the stories. These are the floors. Then I found this picture, and I was like thinking portals, and I was thinking those structures. Let's put it that way. And then I looked up a little bit of the history. The original World Trade Center contained the Twin Towers, which are the tallest buildings in the world after they opened on April 4th, 1973. And it's right there, 44 and the 11. That connection right there. And then, you know, the rest is just on and on. I went into the lyrics, and you could break down these lyrics. I have some notes, but it would just take so much time. I'm already maybe 20 minutes in. I'm not even probably halfway. So waiting for a time to encode the vanished by quickening, which means stimulating the inner self. Astral boldness. Lyrics to Decode 144, the song. Right here, look at the album. This is the songs. This is the beginning of this song. Waiting for a time to encode the vanish. And all you decoders out there, all you decode heads, you know, or if you're not a decoder, you should start decoding, decode your life, research this stuff. It's brilliant, and that the connections that you can make, but start with yourself. And I'll explain that maybe at the end of the video or second video. I got so many videos right now, or ideas that I want to put into videos. But anyway, the inner self, astral boldness, and mesh infinity. Okay, so I said, okay, and mesh infinity. These are things that, you know, these are kind of like eye-opening things like to, you know, to make you think about you, yourself, spirituality. I thought of, you know, meditation. I saw astral boldness. I said astral, that's the cosmos, the stars, you know, maybe like a message for us to break free from maybe this reality. I thought many things. I don't want to put ideas into your head. I just want you to be open, and you're gonna see where everything went and it was put together. So anyway, knowledge, first contact, psychosphere, break this conundrum, code 144, decode the scrolls, code 144. Okay, the next part of the song, stripped of weight, monoliths fled to build their stargates and power plants. And I saw those are strong words, monoliths, stargates. Started thinking like a future of like UFO movies or like things, you know, like sci-fi stuff. And I said, and it says, and power plants. And I said, that was interesting. And I said, oh, we're trying to get into space, into Mars. Like that's our kind of reality right now with the Elon. So ancient cities now on ruins, once their outposts and colonies, access its hard drive. Read between the words. And I thought, wow, that's what we're kind of trying to do all day, is like read between the words to decode. Like see the hidden meaning, or if there is one, or hidden message. And what is reality really trying to tell us? What maybe the spirits are trying to tell us? What is the universe trying to tell us? What is God trying to tell us? Unravel the code of God, it says. And harness the power and wisdom the cosmos beholds. All data is concealed. Oh my God. When I read that, I was like, wow. All data is concealed, sealed under our perception. The key to this vault rests in code 144. And I said, whoa. This has to be the name of the whole thing. This has to be the name of the theme, the name of this channel. I thought everything this is dope, and this is pure randomness. So it says, access this hard drive, read between the words, unravel the code of God. Stargates equals the 11, and again we saw the 110, and we saw that with the towers. And it said, I said, what does it have to do with stargates and portals and the towers? And this is what, like, all these things are 144 hard drive. Is the 55. So that's another connection. Oh, right here, because you get the 55 from the 144, obviously the hard drive. Decode 144 is the 45, and this date that we all know of is 45. 55, the 411 for info and directory. I don't know if they still use it in the US, because I don't know, it's weird. I've tried it a couple times. Maybe you needed to do it from a landline, but that was the info directory you can call in the US. So it's information. You call up, there's a directory, the hard drive, and I said, oh wow, time is 144, light is 144. I said, is this deep? So, but the same thing, because it wasn't the greatest day, right? The killer is 144. The people, the when they chant for God is the Allah Akbar 144. God game in life, that sometimes when you listen to like Jordan or Logan, they say that, right? The game of life. But it says God game of life, right? So I said light is 144 once again. And we go to here to unravel the code of God. And I picked up on the 88. And right away I started visualizing 88. Okay. That's like I always like those numbers for some reason. And it's like, it's prejudice and the little things that I've read about the numbers. And I said portals equals 88 also. So I said, oh, well, maybe it's like 2 portals. That's the first thing that I thought in my head. I said, maybe it is. And the symbol for infinity, the 8 on the side is the same thing, the 8. So this is like the 4.5 is 4.5, 4.5, break it down to the 0.5 plus 0.5, you still left with the 44 and the 1 from these two numbers. Or if you want to take it there, 1 times 44, you always get that 44. That's what's apparent here, and it's very strong in the 144. And then I said, wow, 88 infinity, and I wrote these symbols down. I said, maybe that has something to do with it. And I started looking up the dates between the album release date and the what date we have here. We get that 111, the 15, and we're in the year of the tiger, the 15 for that day. Whatever has no relation. I try to check over and over, but this is all, the numbers if you want to jot down some things or whatever for these dates. But then I looked at it, 144, the 44 plus 8, 4 plus 4, 8, infinity. Kept looking at that, so let me look at it in the tarot, because I know a little bit about tarot also. So right here, the 8, and I said, okay, that's the 8th card with the infinity over the head. Also, the magician card has the infinity over the head. Okay, so on a positive note, okay, so like if you're relating to the 9/11, it's the upright strength, courage, but it was a negative kind of day for that date or whatever. So I said, okay, maybe it's in the reverse, inner strength, self-doubt, low energy, raw emotion. Tell me you weren't feeling like that when all this happened. So I said, maybe there's something else. And I said, I went to the Chinese zodiac, and we have the metal snake right here for the Chinese zodiac. I said, wow, that resembles an 8. I've seen this symbol before from another tarot that I have here in the house, and I said, wow, that's it right there, the 8, the snake eating the snake, the metal snake. And I said, okay, let me look at it. The 9/11 in a Bible verse, and this was random too. It says, behold, I have given you the authority to tread on serpents and scorpions all over the power of the enemy, and nothing shall hurt you. So I could imagine, and I want to enter a story about a friend that actually survived it, and maybe he survived that snake. I don't mean to laugh, and I respect everyone that lost their families then, but I just want to tell you that he was one of the survivors. I know somebody that was there. And I'll continue, and we're already half hour into this. Jeez. Okay, so Mercury, we're looking at the elemental properties. You got the 8. Then I looked at the symbol, which is the symbol here, which is the symbol that I decided on when I did. I said, let me put it in, incorporate it to the channel somehow, because But I'll get into that later. So we go back to the Mercury, that symbol. What it goes here? No, let's skip. Okay, the metal snake. Okay, so if that doesn't get you, I don't know what will, and this correlation between the 144 or the 44 with this date right here. Then you look at what band was it, what kind of song was it. It wasn't really my type of, style of music or whatever. And it was metal, like hard metal, death metal, progressive death metal. And the band is right here, Lisbon. And the release date, this is the band members here. I try to look up videos and things like that, music videos. I haven't found anything. You could rewind and check out the lyrics to the song, and study that. I think I'm gonna have to break this into 2 parts because it's already getting to half hour. But anyway, let me continue. So the serpent is the 38 in gematria, the 50, and I said, okay, the 3 8s. Look at it right there. The 888. So repeating again. Snake is the 1-4 from the 144. And it continued and it went on and on. So I went into the snake, the equals the 114, you could say is the 5 or the phi. And look what phi is. Enthusiasts often mention that certain measurements of the Great Pyramid of Giza, such as the length of its base or height, are in the golden ratio. Others claim that the Greeks used phi in designing the Parthenon or in their beautiful statuary. Look at it. So that's got to be powerful. And then when I started just visualizing in my own head, I said, can I maybe find pictures or something that leads to why it is the snake and what it has anything to do with maybe just visually. And that's the whole point here. Take it like art here. Take it be open to it, and I'll just be open to the idea of everything that I'm trying to say. And it just it made more sense and more sense and more sense. So I looked at it in the numbers, whatever, the history, and this and that, and the connections. But I wanted to visualize, so people could just see what I was seeing. So I kind of thought of it like the serpent going up a staircase. And I said, I thought nothing of it. I said, wow, okay, so the serpent up the staircase. Never seen that before, because I'm telling you, this is all random. There was 2 charts on the top that were Jane 108 stuff. You could look them up. Based off the 144, and that was later. I added those later. So everything's just been random, just trying to make connections. And I'm ignorant to this. Maybe a lot of people knew this, but I didn't. There's actually a video of the staircase of the place right here, the famous place in New York City, and it was saved. This was saved. I mean, not saved, but this is what was left. The remains was this staircase. And it says the granite and concrete staircase consists of 37 steps that once connected the outdoor plaza outside of the twin towers down to the street below. Prior to the attacks, it had weighted 175 tons and stood 22 feet high. I said, okay, 22, that's strong. We're in the 22. As says, by the time it was moved in 2008, the staircase weighed 65 tons. I don't know if you guys ever made any of these connections, but I was like, okay, wait, what? And this is totally random. Okay, so let's continue to make this shorter and so people don't get bored. The snake. Okay, so I found this little picture. I liked it, the drawing with the snake, like a staircase. So let me look some other things up. And then I found the temple. It's in Cancun, in Chichen Itza, in Cancun. And it says the Serpent Staircase. And I said, wow, that's that's in history. That's it's important. People look things, archaeologists, tourists, and whatever. They always want to find out the mysteries and how. And I'm not gonna curse, but how did I even make this connection? I don't know. The spirits wanted you to see this, and then right here the snake again, the snake head, and then we look into the Mercury, and I just want to see how does that work with Hermes somehow. And then you got the catechus, symbol of God of Mercury. You got the snakes right there. And the wings. I said wings and the sword. I said, that looks so cool. Like the sword with, And then I compared them to, and I made my own drawing of it right here. People draw it differently. But I said, let me take a depiction of a depiction just to see if I could just do it myself. Freehand, not freehand, but like through some shapes here. And I said, wow, that kind of connects in a certain way. If you turn that sword upside down, you know, move certain things about, but that connection is still there, the snakes. And then I said, okay, let me keep looking, maybe see some other pictures of this pyramid that we spoke about. And then I found this Kul Klan, also spell Kul Kulk Khan. And it's the plumed serpent. So maybe that's where the wings too. And it's correlated. And it says right here, Amazing Serpent is the name of Mesoamerican serpent deity that was worshipped by the Yucatec Maya. So I just like learned something right there. And I said, but it just made complete sense. But I said, okay, so then if you still have doubt, what does that have to do? So you have to wait until the end to find out. So right here, there's another picture next to that pyramid looking structure. And then you have, he is also known as the plumed or feathered serpent that is a mix of bird and rattlesnake. Indeed, his name is a combination of the post-classic Nahuatl words for the Quechua, the emerald plume bird, and Coatl or serpent right there. So we have a bird with a snake. I said, cool kinds of feather snake similar to Quechuacal. That's when I was like, oh, okay, so when you're reading through things and trying to make discoveries, you find out Quechuacal and his connection that he could also been like Jesus, and they could all been like from this like the same time space. If like Jesus was in Jerusalem, he could right here Quetzalcoatl could have been in these times right here with the Aztecs and things like that. He could have appeared there. So simultaneous, like parallels or whatever, parallel timelines, whatever. I don't know what the correct term is, but I hope you get my point. The pyramid dedicated to him was designed as a calendar. The four-sided pyramid has staircases on each face, each of which has 91 steps. And we make that connection with the 9 and the 1-1. And this is combined with the platform, this totals the 365 days of the solar year. So there's also a calendar besides being a structure. So then we go back and then we say, oh wow, look at again the pyramid structure in Man of Steel, by the way. Okay, so we continue, and then there was this later that I added on after the randomness. I said, I have to complete this, and how am I going to complete it? And then I found this, and I was like mind-boggling right here. Jane 108, he mentions that he does this kind of like calculation and explanation. I can't read the letters on the page, but he basically broke it down to the 144 leading to it's like a staircase, and this is how you're going to visualize the 3.14. That's why he put the 3 there, and we all know that's pi. And it goes on to infinity. And I put the star there because what's the first thing I thought? I was like the stairway to heaven or something. The staircase. There's that famous song, Stairway to Heaven. The way to get to heaven maybe is through here, being the serpent to ascend. These are like just abstract things that I thought. And I said, okay, maybe that'll be it. And I kept finding clues after clues. And then you got the Snakes and Ladders, originated as a part of the family of Indian dice board games that included the Gayan, Chowper, and Pachisi. And I thought Pachisi, I said, oh, that's Parcheesi. We used to play that in the 80s, known as English as Ludo and Parcheesi right there. So that's Parcheesi right there, the classic. I guess like more like, I don't know if it was just like American, but a lot of people play this game. I had a friend that played it a lot. And this is another style here. It's either the Gayon, Chopper, or the other one mentioned here, or the Ludo. It's one of these, but this is the Indian or the Asian, like most the oldest or the most ancient. The size of the grid varies, but is commonly 8 by 8 and 12 by 12. So I made that connection, the 8 by 8, the 88 that we just spoke about, or the 8 and the 12 by 12, you get 144. So I said, wow. And then you have another one called Shoots and Ladders, and I think kids, like younger kids, play this or played this. I'm not sure if it's still relevant. So I went back and I said, wow, the metal snake right there. The Chinese year of that year was the metal snake. And then I started finding these other pictures, and found this like connection here, because you see the serpent going up the stairs, or really down the stairs, however you want to see it. This is the Golden Legend Snake Stairs by Safer Guarda, Portugal. And I said, wow, the band is from Lisbon, Portugal. The band right here from the album Decode 144. That's why you stayed this long and listened. And I said, wow, that's amazing. And I like the art too. So I was like, wow. And then you have this little girl right here, depiction holding a sphere, and this is what it is, the staircase. And there's a guy up there, like saying hello. And then I put up the dates right there, and then I went, like, delved a little deeper into the 1111. I got the 22, and then we said the 22, I think, steps, I think, was from the staircase right here, or 22 feet high, sorry. And let's continue. So I got that little correlation right there, the 22, the 8. And everybody could say, oh, why didn't you take the 144? Oh, that's the 9. And I said, okay, that would have been easy. And I said, let me try something different. Okay, so the 22 is the number of the master builder, and Jordan from Waters Above Crypto put me onto the master builder, master destroyer, the master builder being the 11 right here, 11, and the 22, the master destroyer. And I said, wow, that's the connection right there. 2020 is a 4 universal with strong 22 influence. So we passed that dismantling of structures and old paradigms. And then you're going to be like, okay, that's enough. I'm done with this number and this correlation and this connection. But there's more. And I think we're almost done. We're almost done. So the pale horse, the 144, and I got extinction equals the 44. The pale horse, 144, extinction 44. And then I kept looking at this picture, thought nothing. Of course, we all get it. Beware of the pale white horse. I think it was a book, and it's also referenced in the Bible and things like that. If you don't know, look it up. It's semi-important to, like, I would say, like, end times and apocalypse, and this could be one of its most important symbols, because after this, supposedly, the world ends or whatnot. That's up to you, what you believe. But I thought it was like, okay, so let me take that connection, and I said, wow, the horse. Okay, I've kind of seen this, like, symbology, not really. I've seen, a lot of tarot decks and things like that throughout the years. And I said, wow, this, like, kind of connects to this guy right here, the messenger. And that's Hermes right there with the wings. The messenger. Trying to tell us something, right? He has to be telling us something. And that's where I came into, again, the symbol that I'll explain, like, that I kind of like this little philosophy that I made up with that symbol. The Mercury. Let's go back, if I can, right here. And the messenger. From that card, the 48. And I said, okay, maybe it means something, maybe it doesn't. Make your own judgments. And then I put it up right here. It's exactly the same person, the messenger right here. He's telling us something. And they always say that Mercury is the communicator and things like that. When it's in retrograde astrology, things go haywire, things kind of mess up, especially computers, communications, radio, television, blah, blah, blah. And then I added these two numbers, the 4 and the 8, and I got the 12 again. 12 times 12 is the 144. So I said, wow, the 144 is tied to Mercury in all ways, even in the tarot, even in the, in this wordage right here, pale horse, extension 44. After the year that we were speaking of, the metal snake was 2001. 2002 we went into the water horse. So it was like, it's kind of like telling us something that will happen, or was going to happen, or maybe that was the time, maybe that was the date right there. From this date, from that year of the Chinese New Year, you get the water horse, this horse right here again. Trying to, like, you think of it as you will, but just be open. And then I looked up the 144 months, and you got the 44th president of that year right there. We all know who he was. Then I went into the portals of that year. What did they do? They commemorated this place right here, where those towers stood, and they walking into the portals right here. That's what that connection I made. And I looked at it, I was like, wait a minute, there's a freaking pyramid in the new one. Right there. The 144 from the pyramid, from the angles. It's all connected, man. It's all connected right here. Snake 1-4 or the 5. So I put 5, the word 5, phi, also known as 5. The hand is 5 right here. And where are they placing the hand? On the heart, commemorating that day. So maybe it's like some notes. I'm not gonna say, like, you know, say anything that like could not get me in trouble, really, because I don't care, but like just something that I just jotted down on these dates. So I just kind of told you what happened after the 144 months. Okay, just putting those 2 and 2 together. Those are just like, you can look up map pictures from those times and make your own conclusions. Or actually articles too. The 144 weeks, you get this date right here, 6/15/2004, and then this happened. I saw this article. The Pentagon has revealed that the Vice President Dick Cheney's office was consulted before Halliburton. So I don't know if you remember that. Pentagon, Cheney's office consulted over Halliburton right there, saying that he might have, like, you know, had those contracts, and there might have been a little bit, you know, of knowing or taking advantage of the situation, right? Then I put this: the Sibel Edmonds calls for other government 9/11 whistleblowers, right? So this is talking about some deep shit right here on these 2 articles, and it had to be brought up on this date. Look, after the 144 weeks, these 2 articles are like pointing out to big things for us, because a lot of people are kind of doubting of the situation, what it was led to into wars, things like that. So then we look at this day, 144 days, and we had the snake, right? We still were in the snake, and I think that's why I messed up on one of the slides that I'll fix later, hopefully. But I hope everybody's like enjoying it and moving along. So you got the 420 also here, which is funny because that was the release of the Decode 144 album, or the song from that album, of Portals to Decimation. Right here, and still in the snake, it was the Aquarius, and this is long. I made this too long, but I'm telling you, I couldn't stop. I could not stop the 144. It didn't let me stop the Mercury, Hermes, whatever it is. Didn't let me stop. So look at the #1 songs right here. You Got It Bad by Usher. The song also #1, Enrique Iglesias. You Got It. I don't even want to sing right now. The Hero. So I just found that so hilarious. You Got It Bad. No, I didn't get the connection. You Got It Bad by, say, Hero. What happened 144 days before. You know, you had that event, and then you got the song Hero, and You Got It Bad. And I said, okay, whatever. Okay, you got the Saturday, and I said, oh, I thought of Jordan. He says Tuesdays, the Marte, you know, being Spanish speaking, so we kind of figured it out. You know, he made that connection. He correlated that connection right there, or whatever, of the Marte being the Tuesday and Saturn being Saturday, if you kind of like look at it like that. And you always look at Mars to be the, you know, the war, the aggressive, and Saturn to be the teacher or time. And that's what I've like picked up in the past like maybe week or so to actually help me finish this long extensive study on these 2 dates and the Decode 144. So then we have right here the February 2, 2002. We have the 22 plus 22 equals the 44 equals the 8 right there. From the 2002, I'm sorry. And in the same year, you get this. What happened here? Not the same date, the same year, 11/16/2002. This little thing right here, these little globs. And then you have the next one, and it's actually on 11/17/2019. And I thought that was like funny from this date, from taking the 144 right here, the days between each other, right? So then now we go and continue. And then I looked up. Okay, so this is the dates between of the 2002 2019 blob thing, or globby thingies, whatever you want to call them. And then you get the 8-8 right here. You get another 8 right here. You get another 8 from the 17 years. I mean, if I haven't convinced, I mean, if these studies or what I've researched hasn't convinced you yet, I don't know what has. Like, we're gonna make my thoughts on what it is, but you have to make your own conclusion. But it kind of like all connects, and it's trying to tell us something. That's what I thought. Maybe it'll do that for you too. So you have from that date, the 11/17 2019, you got the 22, and we already spoke to 22, the Master Destroyer. And then you got the 44 again from that 144. And then also to make note, like this day right here, 2/20 2022, all these twos, like 5 different twos right here. And you get what was the Pluto's return, and it was the end of the 2-2 sequence that started back in 2000. Also, Pluto's return had been seen since 1776, and is a big important day for the U.S. Tying that together, and then I said, let me think. I saw something kind of, positive. Sierra Miller, I saw this on some website, and I had to include the whatever quote it was, and it says 222 energy is like a portal to channel all the love and hope you can. Okay, and that's the last times that we'll see these twos, right? So now we go to 2020. We kind of said that the 2020, the 4, the 22 influence, all these twos again. All right, and then we know what happened that year with the blob also. A lot of especially if you study the markers of crypto and everything everything when the thing hit the fan, and we all know it, and it was in that year. Okay, so then we continue from the I was like, let me try another format, 144 months, weeks, and days, and let me see what I could find. And then we go back to the 11/6/2016 when these two clowns were here and they were battling against each other. And then you get this. Wait, I jumped ahead. But anyway, you get a lot of reports that I just like, it's too long. It's been an hour, and I had to finish it. I really had to finish it. I said, I'm going to finish it, and I'm going to upload it. And this is for who's. It's dedicated to them, to Jordan, to Logan, to Jason from Arcades, all the people at. Wow, I kind of did finish it, right? Like, yeah, I did. I'm done. But I want to leave you with this. Also, another clip from this day, 11/6/2016. Right here, you got Garfield. I loved Garfield as a kid. I don't know about you. And I thought this shit was hilarious. Garfield right here. Sack time. And he goes into that paper bag, and he goes to sleep. And Garfield equals 44. So it's up to you if you want to go to sleep about this, if you or back to sleep. I choose not to. And I left you a little message at the end here, and I got this from the gematria. I kind of said, okay, well, let's visualize this Mercury thing again. If I could do it on my own, write it or draw it or whatever. So this is my second attempt, and I said, let me do it with the keyboard this time. And I got plus or positive 0 open. And when you look at the Mercury symbol, is depicted by spirit, a circle, or over matter, a cross, resulting in receptivity. So receiving, and says a crescent, and that's this thing here, which is indicative of communication. So the spirit, the circle right here, and then you got the cross over matter. So the spirit over matter, kind of like the as above, so below. And I know that was tied also the 144, but I needed to finish it. I needed to conclude this whole masterpiece together. But I also kind of like said to myself, I said, what is that symbol right there, that plus? So I said, wait, be positive, 0 expectations, and be open.